Sunshine for some of us today, but heavy showers elsewhere before it turns wet and windy in the south tonight. We'll have all the details of that and more live from Walton on the Naze. Exactly as Katie was just saying, all of this money and the investments, the mitigation and adaptation for climate change is so important because it is happening right here, right now. But yes, today is an important one because the State of the Climate Report for the UK for 2020 has been published, and it shows that our climate is changing, and it is evident that climate change is happening right here in the UK. 20 we've had have all happened since 2002, and records going back over 150 years. During the summer, we've easily and frequently had 34 rainfall in February. Some places saw 400% of their rainfall, and then in October we had our wettest day we have ever recorded, and that will now be 2.5 times more likely to happen because of climate change. We're getting warmer and wetter. That might seem a bit weird, but the reason is a warmer atmosphere holds more moisture. A 1 degree rise in temperature holds 7% more water. And this is just impact just in the UK, but as Katie mentioned, we've been seeing in the last few weeks all of these records being UK, because it also talks about the temperature of the sea is rising, the sea level is rising and accelerating. We're also having a big change in our growing seasons, affecting nature, it's affecting biodiversity, and it affects all of us. And the report's so important because it talks about what's happening now, compares it to the past, looks at how we can see as evident climate change is happening right here on our doorstep, and it helps us to know what will happen in the future. So if you want to know how you can make a difference, and actually what is happening here has been changed, we'll be finding out more about that later on this morning. But for now, it is a beautiful sunny start to the day. It will not last because it's a very mixed outlook ahead for today. First thing this morning, though, the satellite and radar picks out lots of nice, fine, dry weather, mostly for England and Wales. Scotland and Northern Ireland, still cloudy skies, outbreaks of rain. Some of that rain is heavy compared to what we've seen over the last few days, but slowly starting to ease as we head through the day. And with some sunshine around, temperatures high teens, low 20s, around about average, maybe 22 at best. But cast your eyes to the southwest. It will turn increasingly wet and increasingly windy through this evening and overnight tonight. Campers beware. We've got gusts of wind 50, maybe 60 miles an hour. A yellow warning in force at the moment. It could well be upgraded to amber. So wet and windy is the name of the game, Sean.
I'll keep my umbrella with me. Thank you, Laura.
Good morning to you. It is a gorgeous sunny start to the day here at Walton on the Naze, but let me tell you, it is set to turn increasingly wet and windy. A very divided outlook for our weather as we head through, not just today, but for the next few days as well. But for today, here's the latest satellite and radar image, and it shows we still have rain through northern areas across Scotland, like we did yesterday, where we had all that heavy rain and some localised flooding. But as we head through the day, that slowly starts to ease. England and Wales start off largely fine and dry, and that's the way it's set to stay for most of the day. Yesterday we had a lot of heavy, widespread thunderstorms. Today for England and Wales, during most of the day, it is set to stay largely dry. The winds will slowly pick up from the southwest, but temperatures today, high teens, low 20s, 22 degrees at the very best, but certainly cooler than it's been over the last few days. And then we look to the southwest through this evening. A little area of low pressure will bring with it an unseasonably strong spell of wet and windy weather. We are talking 50 to 60 mile an hour gusts of wind through the southwest. A warning in force, a yellow one for how strong the winds are, and potentially that could be upgraded to amber as we head through the day. So that is one to watch. So let's take a look at our outlook for the next 7 days for Scotland, Northern Ireland and for northern areas of England. Well, at the moment, temperature-wise, it sits around about average, but it turns cooler, it turns below average as we head through the weekend and into next week. Percentage chance of rainfall, and you can see those weather symbols. There's something in the way of rain most days for the next few, with a high chance of picking up some rain or showers. It does turn dry into the weekend, a higher chance of seeing more in the way of sunshine, with just a few scattered showers before some wetter weather returns as we head into next week. Fortunes further south for England and Wales for the next 7 days. Well, again, it has been very, very warm. It's been mild, but it's now set to turn cooler as we head through the rest of the week, the weekend, and that stays that way into next week. But looking at our percentage chance of rainfall, it turns higher for the next few days as we see shower risk increasing. It tends to turn drier for many of us, though, as we head into next week. Many happy returns, Mr. Peters, and I offer you gorgeous sunshine until we see wet and windy weather later. I just want to say I've got a beautiful location this morning, surrounded by some ancient cliffs here at Walton-on-the-Naze, and it is National Marine Week. It's actually 2 weeks of National Marine Week, and I've come to the coastline to do some exploring, and they want you to get out and explore, see what you can find on the coastline. And I found this little shell here, which is a whelk. You can find out a lot about the coastline where you are. And this one I found in the cliffs is actually a prehistoric shell, and it hasn't been uncovered for millions of years. Obviously, the cliffs are very dangerous, and they could fall at any time, and the ladies here have been accompanying me the whole time. Finding out more about that later. But weather-wise, sunshine is the name of the game at the moment for England and Wales, but Scotland and Northern Ireland, we still have cloudy skies and rain and showers that we had yesterday. Thankfully, a drier head today compared to yesterday. Scotland and Northern Ireland, the rain eases, not as torrential as yesterday. And for England and Wales, a few showers, but nothing as heavy as yesterday. Temperatures around average 22 at best, but it turns very wet and windy in the southwest later, with warnings from the Met Office for gusts up to 60 miles an hour.